YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Young Mustard, and today we're kind of going to do a little sit down talk and talk about a player that all of us know, obviously, as you can see the title, LeBron James. And I'm going to just kind of take a little blast to the past and talk about him leaving Cleveland and just why he did so. Because I think a lot of people really don't understand that what LeBron James did when he left Cleveland was open the door for so many players to take their fates into their hands. But a lot of people really don't know how we got there. But before we get started with this video, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified. Drop a like if you like this video and comment your opinions in the comment section. But without further ado, let's talk about LeBron James being in Cleveland. When LeBron James won his second MVP in 2010, which was his second straight MVP, which made him a back-to-back MVP recipient, a lot of expectations were put on him to win a championship or at least get to the finals, especially being on his contract year in Cleveland, and the results were definitely more than likely going to affect his decision in free agency. So I think it's safe to say that the future of the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James were hanging in the balance of this series against the Boston Celtics, and in the first 3 games, LeBron James delivered the same way you thought he would do on any given night, as he averaged 32 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds, as well as 2 steals and 2 blocks, shooting 54% from the field, around 39% from behind the arc, and 74% at the charity stripe. Incredible play on the offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball, as he was the best player on the court in each and every one of those games, and they took a 2-1 lead. But then the remainder of the series comes, and the Celtics really focus in on shutting down LeBron James and making the players around him have to beat them, and they succeeded, as not only did they win the remaining 3 games of the series, but LeBron James would have some of the worst playoff performances of his career, as in the last 3 games he would average 21 points, 8 assists, and 11 rebounds, as well as 2 steals, but he shot 34% from the field, 15% from behind the arc on over 4 attempts a game, and also averaged 6 turnovers per contest. And even in the elimination game, I think he gets a lot of credit because he had a triple-double of 27 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 assists, which is impressive as far as the 3 biggest statistical categories go, but a lot of people gloss over the fact that he shot 38% from the field and also recorded 9 turnovers. So it is what it is when it comes to that performance. Considering the fact that he didn't really have the biggest help on his roster, it was understandable how he could lose to a team that not only made the finals before, but had a championship in 2008 and featured a team that had 3 Hall of Famers, even though they weren't in their prime, were still vastly capable of playing at a high level. So it was a very understandable loss, but it did speak volumes to where LeBron James was in his career with Cleveland. This had been the last try for him, as he decided to leave and go to Miami in the offseason. And a lot of people criticized him for that and said he was just stacking the deck, as he was going to play with Dwayne Wade, and they also added Chris Bosh. So when you consider how everything ended for him in Cleveland, honestly, I don't understand why people wanted him to stay. Yes, I get it, the Cavaliers are not the greatest organization, so he could build them up, because apparently, according to people like Paul Pierce, building up an organization is more valuable than you bringing championships to each and every organization you've been to. But that's a topic for another matter. And when I look at the fact that LeBron was in Cleveland playing with guys like Mo Williams, Ilgauskas, and sure, those guys are not scrubs. You could throw Carlos Boozer in there, as well as Larry Hughes. It's not like those are bad players, but when those are your second and third best players, it doesn't matter how great you are not going to win a championship like that. At best, LeBron was only going to make the finals once or twice, and even if he did, he was going to lose to the Western Conference Finals champions, and that happened in 2007, and had he done that in 2009 and beaten the Celtics, he more than likely would have lost to Kobe Bryant in the Los Angeles Lakers in the finals, or at least that's my opinion. But who knows how the Cavaliers respond to that, so I don't want to open up that hypothetical. But considering why he left Cleveland, I mean, it was just the right time, considering that his contract was up and him and Dwayne Wade have come out and even said that they wanted to play together even before they joined up in Miami, and it was supposed to be them and Carmelo Anthony, but Melo signed a 5-year contract instead of a 3-year contract in Denver. It really makes sense, and I actually am a fan of that because it opened up players to making their own decisions and putting the destiny in their own hands, because for years players would sit back and allow teams to move them as if they're a piece of lettuce and then not do anything in retaliation and really not use the power that they have. For example, the decision is easily one of the most influential moves in the history of the game, because not only did he say, fuck it, I'm going to join Dwayne Wade and add Chris Bosh and stack the deck in my favor, unlike a lot of other players, but he televised it and controlled his own narrative on his own platform and used the money to donate to a charity. That is easily a class act, and a lot of people hated him for it. But nowadays, you got a guy like Kevin Durant going to join the 73-9 Golden State Warriors, writing about it in magazines, and some people hate him and some people love him. But the fact that he was able to do that is simply due to the efforts of LeBron doing what he did in 2010. And say what you want to all the LeBron James fans out there, but the facts are the facts. If LeBron did not do what he did in 2010, going to the Miami Heat and adding Chris Bosh, then Kevin Durant never would have joined the Golden State Warriors after losing to them in 2016. More than likely, Kevin Durant either would have stayed or maybe probably would have went to a different organization, who knows, but I highly doubt he would have gone to the Warriors, and he's even come out and said that. Because just like I said earlier, LeBron James doing what he did in 2010 opened the floodgates for guys like Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and other top players being able to control their own destiny and moving the deck in their favor. And honestly, I like that, because we see great teams here or there, but we always see staples, and it's because of what LeBron James was able to accomplish in 2010. And honestly, I don't fault him one bit. He went to Miami to try to establish them and establish himself among NBA history by capturing an NBA championship. And he did so, going back to back in 2012 and 2013. And even though, yes, it was 2 out of 4, which is a little bit underwhelming, he was able to go to Cleveland and get another championship anyways. So to all the people saying that he left Cleveland high and dry, he more than made up for it in 2016 by not only giving the Cleveland Cavaliers a championship that the league will never forget, due to the fact that he came back from a 3-1 lead against the team that broke the regular season record of 73 wins, but also he delivered Cleveland its first championship in decades. That is a huge accomplishment, not only as a basketball player, but as an athlete in general. And considering that he is not only one of the greatest players that the league has ever seen, but one of the greatest players in sports, Cleveland is lucky and blessed to have someone like LeBron James that they can point to and say, he represented our organization better than anybody else in NBA history. Because that guy is not only arguably the greatest player of all time, but he is without a doubt the greatest player in our game today. But that concludes this video. Shout out to LeBron James and everything he's done, because he has really paved the way for a lot of players today to take control of their own destinies and control their own narratives. And it is something that I will forever be grateful for him doing. Even though he took a lot of hate back then for doing so, he has changed the game. But y'all hit that subscribe button. Do not forget to hit that bell so you can be notified after every video that we post. If you enjoyed this video and the content that you see, hit that like button and also comment your opinions down below. Guys, this is your boy David from NBA Knowledge. Stay safe and wash your hands. And please, for the love of God, wear a mask. I'm out. Peace.